Hey everyone, happy Friday. It's Friday. All right, I'm Lisa and I'm coming to you. Actually, I'm in my Kentucky home today. So I'm going to just pop on over to my, to look us up and see if I can see myself and your comments. So as you're hopping on, just tell me that you're here and you're watching. I don't know if I'll be able to see the comments appear, but I am going to hop online over here and see that, see if I can see your comments so I can comment back to you. So yeah, just tell me that you're here. Hey Kim, I can see. Hey Kim. All right, what do we got? Okay, I've turned down my volume. All right, and Donnell's watching. Hey everyone. Okay, great. Evening from West PA. Where we're getting snow, you know what? So I'm in Kentucky right now in my house there. Let me fix my camera a tad. And you guys, I'm trying to do something different with the camera, like my phone versus the computer. So bear with me. Hopefully everything works. Can you see me okay? Can you hear me okay? I don't know. All right. So like I said, I'm in my house in Kentucky, and this beautiful backdrop is like these beautiful fireplaces are in all the main rooms and sleeping rooms and everything, because way back in the day, this house is like 120 years old. This is how they heated the house, and this house is so fantastic in that when we got it, these things were still intact. I mean, it's just amazing. Anyway, I love it here. So I'm coming to you from Kentucky today, and I wanted to work on a project with you. You guys saw that we released some new stencils today. And so I am going to do 2 of them with you. So I already took the cat out of the bag here. I already got this guy out. I got the typewriter, which I have been so excited to get. And when I designed the typewriter, has anybody ordered this yet? When I designed the typewriter, what I wanted to do is make sure that the paper part, all landscaped 5x7s, fit inside there. All right, so what I'm going to do, hey, from chilly Minnesota. You know what? In Kentucky, I woke up this morning, there's flurries. What the heck? Yesterday it was like 50 or 60. All right, but look I could put your still the one in there, let your light shine. I just grabbed a few for you guys to see. Pray. Let's see, just the way that it's done, even if I change up and don't put the paper on there, which we're not putting the paper on there today, I want to show you something else I had in mind when I decided to do this. I could do even the portrait. I love you, beauty begins, such a sweet message. Beauty begins the moment you decide to be yourself, and tons of other ones. But the one I'm going to work with today is the Just Your Type, because can you guys see that okay? I hope you can see that okay. Anyway, that's what I had in mind to work with today. So what I grabbed was, a, hey, all right. I think I'm seeing all these oh, okay. All right, so I grabbed an 11 by 11.5 by 11.5 double-sided frame, and if you guys haven't purchased these before, they come in this awesome box, so they're well protected. Where in Western PA? Okay, yeah, I'm in Cole, Tennessee. All right, if you guys haven't purchased this yet, all of our double-sided, they come painted on one side, a great profile frame, so that you don't need any sawtooth or anything, that if they can hang right off of the profile. And then the other side is unpainted, so you can stain it, paint it, do whatever you want. Holly Patterson, Lawrence County, that's where you're from. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I had an idea about what to do with my typewriter. And so I already went ahead and fuzzed it, get some lint on it, make sure that I, can get it off my board relatively easy. Uh-oh, I got my stuff all over the place. Give me just a second to get a little more organized. All right, and so I'm gonna put this on my board. And I wanted to, like I was saying before, I wanted to try something different with this. So I am going to do the typewriter, but I'm not going to do the paper, and I'm going to show you why. Okay, let me change this so I can see your guys' comments better. Oh, well, I'll just have to, hopefully they'll just they don't scroll up. I don't know what the deal is. Okay, all right, so I'm going to put this in place. I'll try to go through it in a minute and read some of them. And now this stencil is a 12 by 12, and like I said, this is 11.5 by 11.5 board, but I don't care. I'm going to fit it in there, and I'm going to show you real quick in a minute what I did, and then I'm going to tell you where we're headed with all this. So I'm going to just try to find a center point, then I'm going to plop it in there. All right, so this is what I have. My typewriter's right in there, and I decided to put it on the white painted background. So what do you guys have any plans for this weekend? I am planning to see some grandbabies, and me and G-Paw, my husband, we are going to go do some babysitting so that the newest parents can go enjoy themselves, go have a date. Go have a date night. All right, so I've got a little bit of black chalk paste, and I'm putting it into a little tray. These little trays that we sell, you can get them 24 to a pack, very inexpensive. And putting it in here for a couple of reasons. I've got a sample size here that I'm working with, and I wanted to make sure that I didn't have, squeeze out more than I needed, but I'm also going to use it for something else in just a bit. All right, so I'm just I should have kneaded it. When you guys get these chalk paste, if you knead them like this, just squish them around, it's a lot like stirring, right? So you don't get a chance to stir it. So now I'm just going to have to stir it right here in this little tray. I'm just mushing it together here. All right, so remember I told you that hi and shared. Thank you so much for sprinkling. Gosh, I wish I could see these comments, guys. I don't know. Next time I'll do it on a computer probably. All right, so I told you that I wasn't going to do the paper. Okay, hopefully celebrating a Vikings win, Heidi says. I can read it here. Okay, and it's therapeutic. Yes. Hi, Althea from Maui. Hi, and shared. Oh, yeah, Maui. Okay, Robin Ann. It's probably a whole lot warmer there than it is here. All right, so I don't want to do the paper because I have something else in mind, like I said. So I'm just grab some painter's tape, and I'm going to just grab a couple of pieces, and let me show you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to mark off right here. Well, I don't need that much tape. I'm just going to mark off right here where I don't want the paste to be. Whoops. And I'll show you in a second what I'm doing. Okay, I don't want up here. I don't want to do that, and I wanted to get all the way down to the roller. Who in the past has used, a typewriter like this? You actually had to roll it up, right? Okay, I don't want to go all the way, but I wanted to go all the way down to the rollers. All right? So now I'm just going to, so I take that off, and don't worry about painter's tape. It'll come right off the front of this stencil. So now I'm taking my black chalk paste, and I'm going to go over my stencil. Okay, I didn't mix it up well at all. Let my mistake be a lesson to y'all. Hey there, everybody saying hey. Thanks for saying hey. And if you have somebody that you think would enjoy this project, sprinkle, invite them to join us. All right, so I'm going to now just go over my surface here with this chalk paste, and I don't have to worry about getting, being really specific close to that paper because I've already taped it off. I already taped off the part that I didn't want to use. All right, and I am, because it's chalk paste, going to work relatively quickly, just because I don't want it to set up and dry inside of my stencil. If it does, though, I could spritz it with a little bit of water and reactivate it. I've even done, sitting there talking and get it dried inside my stencil. I've even taken just a little bit of water on my finger and just massaged it, and it just brings it back to life. So not to worry, chalk paste is like the easiest thing to work with. Now, this surface that I'm using is a painted surface. So I didn't go with a chalkboard, although we do have a 12 by 12 dark stained, it's called 12 by 12 dark stained board, and it is a chalkboard. And so, you know, you could get a totally different look. Like, let's say you want to do the almond chalk paste or white or whatever on the black background. You know, do it to your heart's content. Now, if you use that on the chalkboard and you kind of made a mistake, it's going to be a little easier to wipe off than if you have it on a painted surface. All right, so now I'm taking off what I don't need, just removing the excess. And let me show you. This is what I have. And now I'm just going to pull up the corners. Now I fuzzed this a little bit before, picked up a little bit of lint so that it'll pull off easier, okay? And I'm going to try and pull it all the way back like this without stretching it. So you want to pull up the corners and then try to pull in the middle or from both sides, especially on a bigger stencil. Okay, success. All right, that one stuck a little bit because I wasn't being careful. If it sticks, don't freak out, okay? I have, so, you know, just try to pull it apart. If it doesn't pull apart right away, put it under a little bit of cool water and then pull it apart, okay? I'm gonna set that off to the side and I'll wash it later. All right, you guys, who wants to see my typewriter? Isn't that great? I love it. All right, so I didn't, what about waxing? So people do wax it, and that would actually have been a good solution here. I didn't bring any wax with me on the trip. I didn't have any sitting here, so it would be a good solution, and it'd be a really great way that if you wanted to remove it or if you had to move it a whole lot easier on a painted surface. Yep, great idea. Thank you. Thanks for sharing that, Gina. All right. Thank you. I'm glad you like it. Yes, I've just been waiting forever for this one to come out. Now, here's my idea. Since I didn't do the outline of the paper coming out, I had a different idea. So I'm going to set this aside and you know what? Let me just stress this a little bit and then I'll set it aside, okay? So I have a little bit of this white chalk paste. Again, I wish I would have, you know, got my jar, but I have these singles and they're going to work just fine for me. I'm going to put a little bit in this tray. And then you guys may have seen me do this before. I'm going to take a paintbrush and add it to a scrubby, the back of a scrubby, okay? I just do this because it's not going to be that uniform, and it's going to kind of seep into or sink into some of the, you know, it'll be different levels. I don't know the right words to say. So that when I run it over my board, or the edges, it's going to give a little bit of a distressed look. And it's not going to be like a total glob. It's just going to be a little bit. So what I think about when I age something is I try to think about, like, normally when I distress something, normally if you had a board and it was getting aged, where would we see the aging? So I like to definitely hit corners and the sides real well and just start running across. Now I like to do a little bit at a time and less is more. I want to show you this. See how that came out? Very, very simple. And then I'm going to do the sides as well. If you watch any of our reels where we do this, you'll see that it looks very familiar to you. Now, we don't want to forget the sides, right? If something aged, it didn't just age on the front. All right, so I'm just going to keep doing this until I get it to the place where I want it. This is chalk paste. You could do it with paint. I had chalk paste here. You see I'm putting more on. I will tell you, I'm usually a little more conservative when I put it on than most people, but I have seen some people put on like a lot and it looks so good. So I'll try to be brave this time. I'm going to put a lot on. See, I've got more here on the edges. It's looking good, I think. What do you think about that? Have you guys used this technique? Hi, NJ. Okay, have you guys used this technique yet? Or if you haven't, what do you do to distress? I've done so many different ways of distressing, including, you know, like putting putting Vaseline on the edges and then painting it and then, you know, just sanding right where the Vaseline was or wiping it off, and that does a good distress job. What kind of other distressing techniques do you guys use? And again, tell me if you've tried this Brillo pad, or I guess that's a name brand, right? This scrubby. You dry brush. Oh, slick. Oh, dry. Thank you, Heidi. You dry brush. Yeah, I dry brush too. I tend to notice that when I dry brush, if I teach a class and I say dry brush, more people are way more heavy-handed. Whereas this just gives you a little bit at a time, and you can put, you know, just add more if you want it. All right. So because this is an old typewriter and I'm planning to hang it up in my antique house, I went ahead and decided that I wanted to distress it. Okay, you guys, how do you feel about that? You like that? Okay, I love seeing all your staff. Oh, good. Yeah, you guys watch when the ladies go live and oops, that's the wrong one. And give you updates and stuff. They're pretty cool. All right. I think I'll just keep putting more on here. Okay, I think I'm gonna be done. It's like, I always say, it's like when I paint and I paint trees, I just keep painting. I love trees. All right, so I'm gonna set this aside and I'm gonna tell you my idea for the paper here, okay? So my idea was to grab a piece of craft paper. The only thing that I had was from my craft stash, which was colored on one side, but it was white on the other. So what I did is I cut out a piece, and I've got it right here, but I'm going to show you the method that I used. Okay, so I cut out a piece that was just about the size of that paper. And then I decided, I grabbed some water. Now you can use a sponge, you can use a small paintbrush, you can use whatever, but basically I just grabbed this sponge, craft sponge is what I had, and I took the sponge and then I ran it, you know, I dipped it in water and I ran it around the edges. Now one of the edges I left straight because that's going to be like it was down in the typewriter, but the others I ran some water around, just around. Now I'm exaggerating a little bit here just so you guys can see a little bit easier what I did. Let me set this aside and wipe this down. Then I let this sit for just a few minutes. You see, oh, it's dripping. You see, I put water around the edge here. The reason I'm going to do that is I'm going to tear it to give it more of a rustic look. And I didn't want it to be uniform. I really wanted it to look aged and torn. So that's why I did it. Now, if you have some paper that isn't as thick as this craft paper, it's gonna go really quick. I just need to let this set a minute, okay? Hey, Tina. All right, so now what I do is I'm just going to start tearing it. Again, like I said, really great thing about this is we're not gonna get a uniform look. It's going to look more torn than anything, which is really what I want. Now, like I said, I exaggerated on this one. I'm doing it really big so you guys can see. You don't have to do anything like this if you're going to do this technique. But now you see, let's see what side. Let me do one more side I got to do. I do this a lot with decoupage as well. But that's how I got it to be to look more torn without actually tearing it. This is actually a more controlled way to do a tear, in my opinion. So this is, and then I set it aside and let mine dry. All right. So then this is what I have, and like I said, I tore it, and the bottom part I kept straight. All right. Now, love your big mat. Thank you, Pam. It's a wonderful. This healing mat is wonderful. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stencil on this, but before I do, I'm going to age it a little bit. And I really want it, it's on a white backdrop, and it is white. So I want it to pop, and again, I wanted it to look a little bit aged. So I'm taking that, I'm going to take that chalk paste in black that I had, and I'm going to steal a little bit of this white, I'm going to mix them together. So I'm going to get kind of like this grayish look going on. Not totally stark black. And, all right, and I'm going to grab that. And now I have another sponge. I could have used the other one, but I'm just going to use this one. Now I'm going to take that and go around the edges of my paper. And in a second, I'm going to show you what that looks like. Now, a lot of people use different ink pads and stuff like this, but I have more than enough going on in my craft stash, so I'm using what I've got. All right, and I think it turns out looking so cool. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in right up against my other paper so you can see it. Do you see how that turned out? Card making tricks to the rescue, Kat says. Right. All right, we're moving on now. Now I've got your Just My Type stencil, and I'm going to put that on this paper because that's what it's going to say. All right, that's what is coming out of my typewriter. So can you ink or paste on paper? Absolutely. Cardstock is awesome. And whether you ink or you paste, that is up to you. Let's see if I got this in a good spot. And now I am going to use, let me look. Oh, it's pretty good. Pretty well centered. Now I'm going to use my glittering red chalk paste. Who's got glittering red? I love this stuff. Okay. Let me get, should we do it all in red or just the hearts? What do you guys think? Just the hearts in red? Or should we do Just My Type, the words, should we do that in black? And then the hearts in red? What are your thoughts? Tell me what you think. Vote for me real quick and tell me what you think I should do. The options are all red, your Just My Type and the hearts, or your Just My Type is going to be black and the hearts will be red. What do you think I should do? Let me see. Anybody saying? What do you think? Give me your ideas, folks. All right. All right. Just hearts. Just hearts. Keep on going with us. I love all the glitters. Okay. So I'm seeing some and not seeing others, but I think I saw you guys say, yeah, red hearts and black. Okay. You got it. Okay. So I'm going to go in with the black, do Just My Type first, and then I will do the hearts. I don't know what happened to my computer. But don't you need to fuzz it first? I did. That's a great question, and I should have said before that I actually did fuzz this first before I came live. And the reason that I did that is because my space here, this table that I have is huge. It seats 10 people, but what you can see is kind of limited. So I went ahead and fuzzed it before I came on. All right, so I'm just doing this as though it were any other surface, chalking. So how many of you guys chalk on cardstock? And do you use ink or do you use chalk? All right, so I have got your Just My Type. Let me wash my hands. Red hearts, black type. Okay. Black words, red hearts. Okay, you guys seem to all pretty much be on the same page. All right, so next I'm going to come in with my yummy glitter red. Oh, who doesn't love this one? Oh my gosh. All right, and I'm going to get my little hearts with the red. I'm grabbing too much. Set that aside. All right, peel and reveal on my paper. Oh, that's cute. I like that. It turned out so cute. You guys, when I was trying to come up with the font for your Just My Type, I looked into like old typewriter fonts and found this one. I'm like, yes, that's it. I'm going with this one. Okay. All right. You use chalk paste. Okay. Good. Never thought about chalk paint. Okay. So let me show you. You're just my type. Isn't that adorable? All right, now where are we going with it all? I've got my board. But what if I just wanted to switch this out every season? I could do that, and I wouldn't have to do that on a chalkboard. I could do it on here, but I was thinking to myself, what would work? Like, do I put Velcro down? What do I do? So I have these little things. Let me see if I can find the container that came in. They are called dot to dot pop dot tape. Pop dot tape? I don't know. I guess that's what it's called. Basically, it's just two-sided foam tape, okay? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut myself just four little guys here, and I'm going to put them on the back of my paper. I think this is great because you can just mix and batch any season. Leave this puppy up. Surprise your family when they come home because you have a new greeting. That would be fun. All right, put a little one here. And these two-sided tapes, they're not hard to remove, and you're just going to put something right over it anyway, so I wouldn't worry about it at all. Okay. All right, I've got my little dots on there, or little things that I cut out on there. I'm going to peel the one side off of all four of them. All right. Then I'm going to pop it in place. All right, so I'm going to put it right up to the cogs of the typewriter. So it looks like it's coming straight out of there. And I love it. Okay, you guys, tell me what you think. Do you love it? The paper, because it's more like three-dimensional, it pops off the board. All right, so this is my project. I hope that you really enjoyed it. Mix and match different 5x7 sayings in here. Display this proudly somewhere. I'm thinking, I don't know, office or entry or wherever. Anyway, I hope that you guys enjoyed the live today. I hope that you will also make your own and share it with us. Thank you. Thank you for all the compliments and the hearts. Thank you so much. And you guys have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.